Have you ever felt like that the world so much dirt that completely stopped seeing the color in life? Like your emotion just flipped into permanent black and white mode? See, we all know that friendly neighborhood Spider-Man who cracked jokes while saving kittens. But what happens when you strip away from the bright red spandex and the sunny optimism and replace cynical gun taunting with chill? Today, we are peeling back the heavy leather layers of Spider-Noir's broken mind. By the end of this video, you will understand exactly how extreme environmental trauma rewires a hero's brain and how psychological defense mechanism called splitting change personal morality. That's the exact psychological trap you might be falling into when life forces you to grow up too fast. Let's look at the how hero's mind shatters when the world goes too dark. To understand the psychology of Spider-Noir, we have to look at his original trauma-based work. Uncle Ben dies because of Peter's passive enough omission, but in our 90214, the Noir universe, the trauma is active, graphic, and deeply institutionalized. Young Peter watches his active Uncle Ben get literally torn apart by a cannibalistic vulture working for the mob boss Norman Osborn. Psychologically, this isn't just a grip, this is a catastrophic exposure to systematic helplessness. The police don't care because they bought by the mob. The government doesn't care because their Great Depression has broken society. Peter isn't just dealing with a personal loss, he's dealing with a world where evil is organized and good is completely absent. It creates a massive psychological challenge for his developing brain, hypervigilance. The brain environment is entirely hostile and unsupportive. The amygdala, the brain's alarm system, goes into permanent overdrive. Peter can no longer afford to be friendly neighborhood kid. He has to become a predator, survive the predators. But here is the pivot. When he gets his spider powers from a mystical spider god hidden inside an ancient artifact, he doesn't feel blessed. He views this power as a tool of absolute, unyielding retribution. He doesn't invent web shooters to swing around and show off. He puts his Uncle Walt's World War I avatar uniform and grabs a revolver. Think about your own life for a second. When you go through a period where everything seems stacked against you, bad luck, toxic people, systemic stress, do you notice how your thoughts get sharper, colder, and more aggressive? That is your brain trying to protect you. In psychology, this is called external locus of control. Shifting into extreme self-persuasion, you stop trusting the world. So you try to forcefully control everything around you. Comment down below, have you ever had moment where every origin of Spider-Man operates under the strict psychological framework of the no-kill rule. It is the ultimate moral boundary lines, but Spider-Man steps completely over the line without flinching. He actively shoots his enemy. Why does he do this? It comes down to a psychological concept known as moral splitting or black and white thinking. When a person experiences cognitive trauma with corrupt systems, the brain simply morality to save processing power. There is no gray. Simplifies morality to save processing power. There is no gray area. People are either innocent or absolute monsters who deserve to be erased. Now he looks at the mob and the corrupt cops and he classifies them as a cancer that cannot be rehabilitated. The problem here is that killing changed the psychological makeup of a hero. The classic Spider-Man carries immense survival guilt, Noir carries something different, moral injury. This happens when I engage in action that violates deep human instinct. Even if we justify them as necessary, he isolates himself, hiding behind a trench coat or a cold, hard-bolted detective persona so he doesn't have to face the emotional weight of his action. The massive change happens in psychological journey when his own family calls him out. After he tracked down the vulture and the monster who killed his uncle, he shoots him to save Aunt May. He accepted relief. Instead, Aunt May is horrified. She looks at him and says, he is no better than a criminal. This moment completely breaks its psychological framework. It teaches us a profound psychological truth. When we use the exact same toxic method, we end up drawing the very things we are fighting to save. So let's wrap this up like experts. What does the dark, gritty psyche of Spider-Man Noir actually teaches us about our own mind? First, shows us that how our environment drastically dictates our moral baseline. If you put a good person in a broken world, their brain will adapt by building thick defensive armor. Noir wore a leather trench coat that carried a gun because the world was dangerous. You might be putting on emotional armor of sarcasm, isolation, or anger because your current environment feels unsafe. But the Aunt May taught Peter true psychological maturity lies in holding yourself to a higher standard even when the world around you drop there completely. Noir's true superpower isn't his spider sense or his guns. It is the ultimate ability to look directly into pitch black absence of human cruel, accept that they exist and still choose to reach out his hand and pull someone out of the dark. If you want to see how it's the same psychological framework of survival and hypervigilance play out in a completely Durandar and its main protagonist Hamza Ali Mazhar's psychology. See you in that video.